Hello again everyone, welcome again to another paper toy tutorial. I am Tree and today I'm going to teach you how to make a fidget spinner with all the materials that you can find in your house. Very simple, but it will take time. To make the fidget spinner you need a lot of patience, and of course you need the materials, which I will tell you right now. To make the fidget spinner you need a sheet of origami paper, a piece of construction paper, a roll of paper tape, 6 metal nuts, and a pair of scissors, and of course wooden toothpick. And now let's take a look at all the materials. You need 6 metal nuts. Remember, you can find a small metal nuts that may be somewhere in your house, or you can buy them in a store. 6 in all, and of course a pair of scissors to cut the tape. Now let me show you guys how to fold the body of the fidget spinner first. Now let's take out the piece of origami paper, flatten it out and fold it in half, and of course fold the paper in half again to create another center crease. And then start from the corner, fold it to the intersection of both creases, and then you will repeat the same fold for all the corners. Continue until you finish for all the corners, and press down the crease hard so that on the next step you can fold the paper easier. Yes, when you finish one side, continue for the other side. Just let you know that I'll fold the paper very slowly so that everyone can follow my steps. Now you have a smaller square piece of paper. Let's turn the paper this way and fold the paper in half again. Now you have a new center crease. And repeat the same fold for the other side. Start from this side, fold to the other side to create another center crease. And then start from this edge, forward to the center crease as well. Repeat the same fold for the opposite side. And press down. Make sure that you press down hard to have a good crease. Now start from the upper layer, from the edge, make it matches to the center crease, and repeat the same fold for the opposite side. Start from the edge, fold it to the center crease, and press down. And you may need to adjust the paper because sometimes the papers are too thick and it will not place nicely. So press down. Now you have a house shape, and repeat the same fold for the other side. Start from the edge, from the upper layer, matches to the center crease. You may need to turn the paper so that you can fold the paper easier. You can also fold the paper, start from the edge, fold to the center crease to create a preference crease so that you can fold the paper faster. Just be patient and you will make it work. This is very similar to how you create the ninja star. And start from the edge, start from this part of the paper, fold it to enhance the crease. Same thing for all the side. Now open this layer and fold it forward the other side. Same thing for the other side. By doing this, you can create the crease, and this will be easier for you to fold the next step. Now let's hold this part and separate the two layers. Take a look closely how I opened the part. After I open both sides, I press down the paper so that I can create new creases. Same thing for the other side, and of course for the other part of the paper as well. And you continue doing the same step for 4 sides of the paper. Yes, and press down the crease. And then now open all the sides, and I will show you how to do the next step. Start from this side of the paper first. Just start from the edge, fold to the center crease, similar to how you fold the paper crayon. Start from the edge, fold to the center crease. This may be difficult for you to see, but it's exactly like how you fold the paper crayon. And you will continue doing the same step until you finish all 4 sides of the paper. Yes, now you finish one side. Let's repeat the same fold for the other side. Start from the edge, fold to the center crease, and again this is the paper crayon technique. And when you finish all the sides, you almost finish the body of the fidget spinner. So continue to finish it. When you fold the paper, remember to not press it too hard at first. Curve the paper first and then adjust it as needed. And when you match the edge to the center crease perfectly, you can press the paper hard to stabilize the paper. And continue doing the same steps. Yes, now you can press down the paper. Take a look at this. You have a now you have a ninja star. I just pause a little bit to see what you say, but now you can press down the paper, and this is basically the ninja star. It's still very nice. And let's flip the paper over. Start from this point. You have this part of the paper, just press it backward. Yes, same thing here, and same thing for the other side. Keep doing this until you finish all 4 sides of the paper. And when you flip the paper over, you have the body of the fidget spinner. And on the following step, I will show you guys how to insert the metal nuts inside of the ninja star to create the body of the fidget spinner. Now we need to have 6 metal nuts, 6 in all. And first of all, let's start from one side of the paper toward the center crease, and estimate about ½ an inch. You repeat the same fold for the other sides. Start from the edge, the tip, the point of the blade, and fold straight to the center crease, about half an inch. By doing this way, you can attach the metal nut inside of the paper, and that will have the spinner spin later on. Same thing for the other side. Now one up metal nut inside the paper. Now you need to keep the metal nut stay there. So you need to insert the tip to the pocket. There's a small pocket. You may need to insert the tip to the pocket first, so that you can fold this later on. Now let's try again. Yes, you may need to push it in. This looks perfect, and now you can fold it backward and for both sides. Remember how you fold the paper crane using the same technique, and fold back. Now you should have preferences to fold, and continue doing the same step for all the sides of the paper. Same thing for this side and the other side. And now let's finish the last one. Repeat the same fold as you did before. Just do it slowly, be patient, and you make it work. And now you almost finished the body of the spinner. And now press the paper down hard so that all these creases stay in place. Now you need paper tape to tape the body of the spinner. Use paper tape because paper tape is easier to control, easier to tape and cut and manage. Plastic tape should work as well, but will take time. And now cut the paper this way. It's about half an inch along, and it really depends on the size of the paper tape you have. Just be creative. You can cut it shorter, longer, it doesn't matter much. Okay, so I just cut the paper for now, and I'll cut 4 pieces of paper so that I can tap all the 4 sides of the paper of the spinner. So I cut 4 pieces, and now I can tap at this part of the spinner, and it will hold the metal nut there. And of course, repeat the same step for all the sides. Be creative. You can cut it. You can cut a large piece of paper tape. You can cut a smaller piece of paper tape. It is totally up to you. And now let's flip the paper over. Repeat the same step actually. Let's cut the paper tape into 4 pieces, and then tap the back of the and then tap the back of the spinner so that it will stay nicely, and you can spin it later on. This is very important. You tap it, and of course you can tap whatever you like, whatever way you like. You can have a piece of paper tape, you can have a small piece of paper tape. When you finish all the sides, now let's flip the paper over, and we need to create the center of the spinner. Let me place this metal nut in the center of the body of the spinner first. And same thing for the other sides. I would use it both sides at the center. You can have the intersection of both creases at the center of the spinner actually. And I will cut 2 pieces of tape to to keep the metal nut in place. And you can cut a circle paper tape. You can cut this tape smaller, but for me I would just cut a square piece of paper tape. At first it may not look nice. I will adjust it. I will cut it. I will trim the paper tape so that it will make the fidget spinners look nice. Now let's do it. Let's me to do it. I will just put it down, and then I'll just tap the paper, and use the pair of scissors, trim it so that your spinner look nice. Paper tape is awesome. You can just adjust it even after you tap the paper already. This is a very convenient to use paper tape. Once again, you can actually take out the paper tape which already attached to the metal nut to trim the tape, and then you can just tap it back. Very simple. Yes, now you can tap it back. And of course you should repeat the same step for the other side, and I will show you guys how to do it. Now you can use the toothpick to make a hole, and press down to make a hole, and then you can repeat the same fold for the other side. You can actually test it. You can spin it to see if it spin well or not. So this looks like it's working very well. Okay, I think it's tested long enough. Now let's finish the body of the spinner, and I'll show you guys how to finish it. Yes, use the toothpick as a preference, and you can keep spinning to make a hole larger, and that will keep the spinner spin faster and less resistance. Now let's do the other side of the spinner. Same thing. You need a paper tape. I will cut a square piece of paper tape, and of course I will just place this at the place, the center of the spinner that I did already. I have a preference already. Now I can just pocket to create another side, to like make a hole go straight from one side to the other side. And I'll use this as a preference. Then I would tap it. And before you actually press it down to the paper, you can just trim the paper tape first. This is one of the best way to do. You can trim whatever you want. You can cut a circle tape, or you can just make a square. You can make a you can make a hexagon. You can make a polygon, whatever shape of the paper tape you want. I just trim it smaller so that the fidget spinner looks nice when it spins. So just cut it and trim all the four sides as I'm doing now. That should work fine. Yeah, and press down. Keep the metal nut stay in place, and you may need to adjust it. Press down, fix one side and the other side, and should fix for all four sides of the paper. Yes, and now just test it again. Let's press down and then test it. Yep, if the paper tape doesn't look nice, you can pull it up and trim it. That's very simple. Now you can actually test it. It works fine. You can always test it, because when you apply the paper tape, it may not work well. So test it to make sure that it will work. And when you are sure it works fine, you can move forward to the next step. Let me trim the toothpick to make it shorter, so you can actually hold it. Yes, I'll just trim it shorter, and now I use a pair of scissors to cut it even shorter as well. But for any step, I like to test out the spinner. Now I can cut it. Make sure that the toothpick should be longer than the thickness of the body of the spinner. Otherwise, you don't have a space between your hands and the spinner, and it will not work. At this point, let's use the construction paper. Make a space between your hand, and make a space between your fingers and the spinner, so that the spinner can spin without touching your fingers. Just cut the circles. You can cut this. You can cut a big circle. You can cut a small circles. This is totally optional. There is no rule for you. and use a toothpick again, make a hole for one side, and now attach it to the spinner, make a hole and then attach it to the spinner. Yes, same thing for the other side, make a hole and attach it to the other side of the toothpick. Yeah, just push it in. The toothpick may be not very comfortable to hold, but the cool thing about this one is you can take it out and spin it as a top. Do not press it hard, just hold it slightly, it will not hurt your fingers. See, this is very simple. Now you can test out your fidget spinner. You can show it to your friends, and I believe they will like it as well. This may be a little bit long to make this fidget spinner, but think about the materials that you can find in your house. This is very convenient. You can find the materials everywhere, and it's cheap, it's free, and you can have fun with your whole creation. And finally, if you like this fidget spinner, don't forget to give the video 1,000 likes, subscribe my channel, and share the tutorial with your friends. I hope you guys enjoy making this fidget spinner. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.